Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stands before you with the topic Meaning of Comparative Governments. It is found in plus 3 second semester core paper number 4, which is on the basis of National Education Policy 2020. And before I discuss meaning of comparative governments on the basis of National Education Policy 2020, which is found in plus 3 second semester paper number 4, and the name of the paper is Comparative Governments. Before I start meaning of comparative governments, I want to inform my viewers that my channel name is Dilip Kumar Pal 9375. Never forget. In this channel, what you will find? Political science videos of plus 2 first year and plus 2 second year, English and ODI. And political science videos of plus 3 second semester, core paper number 3 and 4 on the basis of National Education Policy 2020. And political science honors videos and elective and ethics and values video of plus 3 third semester to 6th semester, and environmental studies videos of plus 3 first semester is found in this channel. And I want to intimate my viewers that any video on any topic you want, just write my name Dilip Kumar Pal and the name of the topic in Google or YouTube. You will get both English and ODI videos. I have already told to you that any video you will find in English, be sure its ODI version is also in the channel. And any video you will find in ODI, be sure its English version is also in the channel. Let us start. Meaning of comparative governments. What is comparative governments? Comparative government is a significant subject because it helps us to understand different political systems, identify best practices, learn from each other's success and failures, ultimately leading to most effective and just governance. Comparative politics, comparative government is a very significant subject because it helps us to understand different political systems. Comparative government is a significant subject because it helps us to understand different type of political systems, meaning different type of governments. Identify best practices. In different governments there are different practices. Which practice is the best practice? Comparative government help. Learn from each other's successes and failures. It gives ideas about varieties of political systems or government, and it also says which are the successful policies, which are the failure policies of these governments, and ultimately leading to most effective and just governance. So comparative government is important because it helps. Comparative government is important because it helps us to understand different type of political systems and governments. It says different type of successful policies, failure policies of different government, and by analyzing different procedures of different government, it helps us to identify which policy or procedure is the best, and it helps to adopt an effective and just governance. So comparative government is important because it gives an idea about varieties of government, and it speaks different type of policies of different governments, and it helps us to know which policy is the best, which policy is a failure one, and it helps us to identify the just policy, and it helps us to identify just policy and take steps for a just and right governance. So comparative government is very important. So what is comparative government? Meaning of comparative government. Meaning of comparative governments. In order to be clear about the meaning of comparative government, a person must be clear about comparative politics. It makes clear and easier to understand comparative government. So what is comparative government? In order to be clear about the meaning of comparative government, a person must be clear about the meaning of comparative politics. If a person will be clear about the meaning of comparative politics, it will be easier on his part to understand comparative government. So what is comparative politics? We must know. What is comparative politics? We must know. Comparative politics means comparison of wide range of political phenomena, including governments, political parties, elections, public opinions, political behavior, and impacts of social, economic, and cultural factors on political process. So, in order to be clear about the meaning of comparative government, a person must be clear about the meaning of comparative politics. Once we will be clear about the meaning of comparative politics, it will be easier on our part to understand comparative government. So, what is comparative politics? Comparative politics means comparison of comparative politics means comparison of wide range of political phenomena. Comparative politics means comparison of varieties of political phenomena, varieties of political concepts, like different type of governments, different type of political parties, elections, public opinions, political behavior, and impacts of social, economic, and cultural factors on political process. So comparative politics means comparison of different type of political phenomena or political concepts, including different type of governments, different type of political parties, different type of elections, different type of public opinions, different type of political behaviors, and impacts of social, cultural, and economic factors on political process. And here social factors include class, gender, and race, which affects voting pattern and political participation. Economic factors include economic inequality, unemployment leads to political instability, social unrest. Cultural factors include values, beliefs, and traditions, also shape political discussions and nature of political institutions. So, comparative politics means it is a subject which compares varieties of political concepts and political phenomena, including varieties of government, varieties of elections, varieties of public opinions, varieties of political behavior, and varieties of social, economic, cultural factors on political process. So, comparative politics means comparison of a wide range of political phenomena, including varieties of government, varieties of election, varieties of political behavior, varieties of political parties, varieties of public opinion, and varieties of social, cultural, economic factors on the political process. So, what you will find in the social factor? Social factors include class, gender, race, which affect voting pattern and political participation. So, social factors include class, gender, and race, which affect voting behavior and political participation. How class, gender, and race affects voting pattern and political participation. Then economic factors include economic inequality and unemployment, etc., leads to political instability, political unrest. If there will be economic inequality, unemployment, it will lead to political instability and political unrest. So, social unrest. Cultural factors include Values, beliefs, and traditions also shape political discussions and nature of political institutions. Cultural factors include values, ideas, beliefs, traditions also shape political discussions and nature of political institutions. So we are clear about comparative politics. So comparative politics means it compares varieties of political phenomena like varieties of government, varieties of election, varieties of political parties, varieties of political behavior, varieties of public opinion, and varieties of social, economic, and cultural factors which impact political process. So we are clear about the meaning of comparative politics. Now discuss what is comparative government. But comparative government is different from comparative politics. We are clear about the meaning of comparative politics. But comparative government is different from comparative politics. Comparative politics is a part of comparative government is a part of comparative politics. Comparative government is different from comparative politics. Comparative government is a part of comparative politics, and its scope is narrower in comparison to comparative politics. So, comparative government is a part of comparative politics, and the scope of comparative government is narrower than the scope of comparative politics. Comparative government only compares different types of governments, systems, and their structures. So, what is comparative government? Comparative government is a subject which compares only different type of governments and their structures. It is comparative government. So, comparative government is nothing else but comparison of different type of political systems or different type of governments and their structures. It is comparative government. So, comparative government includes comparison of different type of governments and their structure. It includes what things? Number one, comparative government compares different types of governments like presidential versus parliamentary, federal versus unitary, democratic versus authoritarian. So comparative government means comparison of different type of political system and their structures. It includes number one, comparative government compares different type of governments like presidential versus parliamentary, federal versus unitary, democratic versus authoritarian. So comparative government compares different type of governments. Number two, comparative government compares how these governments work. Comparative government also compares how these varieties of government works. Number three, it compares how powers of these governments are divided and used. It also compares how in different governments powers are divided and powers are used. It makes a comparison how powers are divided and powers are used in different governments. Number four, it compares how these governments make decisions. It also compares different governments, how they make decisions. Fifth, it compares how laws are made in these governments. It also compares how laws are made in different type of governments. Six, it compares branches of these governments. It also compares branches of these governments because every government has some branch. It compares branches of different governments. Seven, it compares leadership structures of these governments. Every government has leader. It compares leadership structures of different governments. 8. It compares political parties and their role in these governments. It also compares political parties of different governments and their role in different governments. 9. It compares public policies of these governments. Every government has public policy. It compares public policies of different governments. 10. It compares distribution of powers among national, state and local governments of different governments. In every government has national, state and local government. It compares national, state and local governments of different governments. 11. It compares ideologies of different government. Every government has ideology. It compares ideologies of different governments. Finally, it compares check and balance of branches. It compares check and balance of branches of different governments. in different government has its own organs like legislature, executive, judiciary. How these organs of government control each other, it is known as the check and balance. So comparative government compares check and balance of different governments. So in this video we have discussed meaning of comparative government, how it is different from comparative politics. So I request my viewers to subscribe my channel so new videos will come to you. And the most important thing is, aware of your friends, maybe your plus 2, plus 3, those who are not aware about this channel, so that some students will be benefited. Remember, by giving help to anybody, we will not have loss. By giving help to anybody, we can prove ourselves to be human beings. Because it is the nature of human being to give help. Thank you. Have a good day.